All right, I'm in an attic right now, and everyone always asks me what air sealing really is. So let me show you what air sealing is, that how we do it, why we do it, and what the difference is if we don't do it. So what I've done is I've moved back some of the insulation so that you can see where the wood meets the sheetrock. And when they built this house, where the wood met the sheetrock was in contact. But what happens after 3 years is that sheetrock stays the same place because it does not shrink, but the wood does, and we get a gap and a separation. So if I put my LED light down in there and I turn off the exterior light, you can see down in the wall. And you know, as you see down in the wall, that shows me that we have a connection between the inner wall and the attic space. What I want to address here is the fact that in the wintertime, when it's 30 degrees in the attic and 70 degrees in the home, is that on one side of the wall, in a bedroom versus a hallway, it's going to be 70 degrees. On the other side of the wall, it's going to be 70 degrees. So if both sides of the wall are 70 degrees, the theory is you're going to be 70 degrees in between the wall because it's getting heat from each side of the room. However, we've interrupted that because in the attic we have cold air that's 30 degrees, and the cold drops in and then the warm rises up and out into the attic space. So you get this convective loop that allows air that's warm to leave your house and cold air to drop back in. And warm always goes to cold, so it becomes like a big pump that we're pushing the air from inside the house to the outside of the house, because the heat transfers through the wall and rises up out in the middle and comes into your attic. And we don't live in the attic, so I'd prefer to keep the heat in the home. So the example I'm showing you here is air sealing, because what we did is we took an expandable foam and we injected it down in between the wood here and in between the sheetrock and the wood here. And then as time went on, it expanded out of the crack and up into the attic space. So all of this is air sealed. Now, I didn't air seal next to it to give you an example. So if it's not air sealed, you could see down in between the wood where that connects to the walls below, and the same over here. And it looks like we got everything all along there. So we're air sealing to keep the air that's cold from dropping down in between the wall and the heat that's in the wall from rising up and out into the attic. So now we have a enclosed cavity below here, and we're no longer going to lose heat with the air from down below in the house. Now, a lot of people are worried about windows, and they say, oh, windows are so bad, we got to replace the windows, I have a draft. Well, your windows would never leak if the air could never escape from the attic or from the upper part of the house. So this is less money than replacing windows and 100 times more effective than replacing windows. So air sealing is so much more important than changing the windows, and so much more cost effective and more energy efficient. So it saves you more. And around here, there used to be a giant hole around that pipe, which we don't have anymore. And that went right down in between the bathroom wall. So air sealing is the most important, is the most effective thing that you can do to save energy, keep heat in the home, and lower your bills.